Hey, English 1 students, it's Mr. Williamson here. Hope you're doing all right. Wanted to provide a little reading for you of our first chapter of the Odyssey. I've included here the copy from our textbook, and I'm going to read it out loud for you, and then there will be some questions to prompt you. Now, the video I'm recording is limited to 5 minutes, so I will have to stop at one point and pick up in another video. But this part one is called The Adventures of Odysseus. And just as a reminder, the Odyssey takes place after another story called the Iliad. And in the Iliad, that takes place during the Trojan War, and Odysseus was one of the Greek kings who went off to fight in the Trojan War. The Trojan War lasted for 10 years, okay? So he was gone from his wife Penelope and his newborn son Telemachus for already 10 years because of the war. After the war is won, Odysseus tries to get back home, and he has trouble getting back home, partly due to his own actions, and we'll learn about that more as we go along. But the Odyssey is the story of Odysseus trying to get back home with his crew, and it takes him another 10 years to get home. So he is gone for 20 years before he gets back to his home of Ithaca, which is his kingdom that he is the king of. So, if you've ever seen the movie Forrest Gump, the structure of the Odyssey is in many ways set up like the structure of Forrest Gump, or vice versa, if you will. The story is going to begin towards the end when he's almost home. So, when we read this first chapter, Odysseus is almost home already, but is not quite there, and he is telling his story to another king. So, the first part of the Odyssey is Odysseus telling his story. Okay, so it's kind of like a flashback story. In this first part we're going to read, it's actually Homer, our author, kind of giving us an intro to the story, kind of setting us up as the audience, setting us up. So we're going to read that part very quickly. This is called Part 1, The Adventures of Odysseus. In the opening verses, Homer addresses the muse of epic poetry. He asks her help in telling the tale of Odysseus. Sing in me, Muse, and through me tell the story of that man skilled in all ways of contending, the wanderer, harried for years on end, after he plundered the stronghold on the proud height of Troy. And this is making an allusion back. Troy, when they say Troy here, they're making an allusion to the Trojan War that occurred in the previous story, the Iliad. While we're here, a muse, just so you know, is any one of the 9 goddesses of the arts, literature, and sciences, spirit that is thought to inspire a poet or other artist. So a muse would be one of the goddesses of arts, literature, or science, and they would be the ones that would, according to the Greek beliefs and Greek mythology, inspire humans to be creative and innovative. So Homer is asking his muse to inspire him to tell the story of Odysseus. He, referring to Odysseus, saw the townlands and learned the minds of many distant men, and weathered many bitter nights and days in his deep heart at sea, while he sought only to save his life, to bring his shipmates home. But not by will nor valor could he save them, for their own recklessness destroyed them all. Children and fools they killed and feasted on the cattle of Lord Helios the sun, and he who moves all day through heaven took from their eyes the dawn of their return. Of these adventures, Muse, daughter of Zeus, tell us in our time, lift the great song again.